All right, let's get right into it. We are standing at the edge of one of the biggest economic shifts in our lifetime, and it's all being driven by technology that's moving at a wild pace. Today, we're going to unpack the absolutely staggering impact of generative AI.
This is the question everyone's asking, from CEOs in boardrooms to you and me chatting with friends. And honestly, while we're still figuring it all out, the first projections are, well, they're kind of mind-blowing. We're not just talking about a little change here and there. We're talking about a complete overhaul of industries, jobs, and how we think about value itself.
Just take a look at that number, $4.4 trillion. That's the number that consulting firm McKinsey came up with. It's the potential value that generative AI could add to the global economy. Every single year. Just let that sink in for a minute.
To try and wrap our heads around that, it's more than the entire economic output of the United Kingdom for a whole year. This isn't just a small step forward, it's a giant leap, a tidal wave of new productivity that's coming our way.
So, the big question is, where in the world does a number that huge even come from? It's not just appearing out of thin air. It's coming from applying this incredibly powerful technology to very specific, high-impact parts of the business world. Let's look under the hood of this value engine.
And what's really fascinating is that this impact isn't spread out evenly. Nope. About 75%, 3/4 of all that potential value, is packed into just 4 main areas. And that focus is exactly what makes this revolution so powerful.
First up, customer operations. Picture this: AI agents that can instantly scan a company's entire library of knowledge. They then guide human agents to the right solution fast. In fact, one company that tried this saw they were resolving customer issues 14% faster. And you know what else? It made the job way less stressful, so fewer agents were quitting. Next, let's talk about marketing and sales. For decades, the model was one ad for millions of people. Gen A completely flips that. Now you can create 1 million different ads, each one perfectly tailored to each individual person. This kind of personalization was pure science fiction until now, and it's boosting productivity by up to 15%.
Now this is an absolute game changer. For software developers, AI is becoming the ultimate coding partner. Think of it like a co-pilot that understands code perfectly. It suggests whole chunks of code and it just works. A study on GitHub's Copilot found that developers were finishing their work a jaw-dropping 56% faster. That's nearly cutting their time in half.
And finally, we've got R&D. Here, AI superpowers speed. It can simulate thousands of different molecular combinations to find a new drug, or test countless circuit designs in the time it would take a person to do just a handful. It's literally accelerating the engine of human innovation.
Okay, so we've seen the big economy-wide picture. It's huge. But how does all that incredible power actually turn into something you can use, like a real product or service? Well, the answer is all about focus.
And that brings us to this key idea: vertical AI. Forget about a general AI that knows a little bit about everything. A vertical AI is a specialist. It's designed and trained from the ground up to solve one specific problem for one specific industry and to do it better than anything else.
The best way to get this is with an analogy. General or horizontal AI is like a Swiss Army knife. Yeah, it's handy and can do a lot of things, but it's not the best tool for any single job. But a vertical AI, that's a surgical tool. It's designed for one purpose, and it performs that one job with absolute precision.
Think of it like a laser. Instead of scattering its energy everywhere, it concentrates all of its intelligence into a single, focused beam that targets one specific problem. And that is where businesses find real, tangible value. And hey, this isn't just a cool theory, it's already happening. Look at these real-world companies. You've got GPT, built just for veterinarians. There's ChatADV, an AI assistant used by over 90,000 lawyers. And then there's Silent AI, which does the super specific job of handling auto loan collections over the phone. Every single one is a perfect example of a surgical tool at work.
So when you've got trillions of dollars of value up for grabs and these super focused AI tools popping up everywhere, what does that mean for us, for our jobs? It means the very nature of work itself is about to change in a big, big way.
When the CEO of Microsoft says something like this, you really gotta listen. The key takeaway here is that this isn't just a slightly better version of Microsoft Word. These AI agents are an entirely new category, a new kind of digital worker. And here's the number that really puts it in perspective. That's the percentage of time we spend on work tasks that today's technology, including Gen AI, could potentially automate.
60 to 70%. That is a massive change in how we'll spend our days.
And what's more, this whole thing is happening way faster than anyone thought. That bar on the left, that was the old prediction. We thought we'd hit 50% automation of work around the year 2055. But now, look to the right. With generative AI in the picture, that whole timeline just jumped forward by a full decade to 2045.
And let's be really clear here. This isn't about robots on a factory floor. Generative AI's biggest impact is on knowledge work, the jobs that need creativity, critical thinking, and communication. It's going to change the daily tasks of lawyers, marketers, coders, you name it.
Okay, I know a shift this big can feel a little daunting, but with every massive transformation in history, there's a wave of new opportunity. So the real question is, how do you get ready to ride this wave instead of getting knocked over by it?
Here's the secret. The biggest opportunity isn't just being a user of AI, it's being an applier of AI. The people who are going to win in this new era are the ones who can spot a real-world problem and figure out how to build an AI solution for it.
And you can already see the career paths taking shape. You could be a freelancer, using AI to get incredible results for your clients. You could scale that up and start an agency. Or you could become a founder and build your own vertical AI tool, what people are calling a micro SaaS, which is just a small, focused software business that solves one problem perfectly.
So, the strategy is actually pretty simple when you break it down. Just look around you, in your own job, in your own industry, find a task that people do by hand over and over again in a one-size-fits-all way. That right there, that's the perfect target for an AI agent to come in and create a ton of value.
So, I'll leave you with this question. This revolution is already here, and the tools to build things are more accessible than they've ever been. The only question left is, what inefficiency in your world is just waiting for its AI agent? What problem are you going to solve?